What do you do when your dream is calling but life takes you somewhere else? Never in a million years did I think that I would be a nurse. I was always that creative friend, the friend that sang in choir, the friend that danced for nearly a decade or more, and the friend that went to fashion school. But life had other plans for me, and that's what I'm here to share with you today. Hey friends, welcome back to Cozy with Calinnah, where I dive into my journey as an independent artist, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Don't forget to watch a new episode every Thursday. Music has always been a big part of my life. I grew up in the church, in choir, and also in high school, and I danced my heart out for 10 plus years, but I didn't take music seriously at that time. And after college, I worked a lot of odd jobs. My parents decided that they were going to move to the Philippines, and I had to make an executive decision of what I was going to do. So I decided to become a nurse for financial opportunity, not because I loved it. I wanted independence, and at the time I felt like it was the most logical choice for me. Now, nursing school was the hardest schooling that I ever had to go through. I went from an abstract way of thinking from business and fashion school to a more scientific, logical approach, and I had to learn so much about critical thinking. But in the end, it taught me about structure, about hard work, and just the truth about showing up. Then guess what happened? COVID hit. I was really in it. Right after I graduated, COVID hit and I was straight into the fire. I was an essential worker and I didn't know nothing about nothing. It was a real test to see how I would handle this, not only as a nurse, but as a person, and how strong I was throughout this whole entire process. I would not recommend becoming a nurse during a pandemic, but that's what happened. That's the reality. I had no choice. As a brand new baby nurse, I had to learn so many skills super quick, and it was literally sink or swim during that time. And I will never forget the moment where I had to call the wife of a patient who had passed, and it was my patient, and I had to explain to her on the phone why their spouse had passed. And it was a very difficult time because visitors were not allowed. We didn't have anybody in the hospital except for the patients, and it was the hardest thing that I ever had to do. After my shift, I broke down in my car and I just started bawling and crying. And I told myself, I just want to quit. I want to quit. I'm over this. It's too much mentally for me to go through this. Also at this time, we were reusing masks, gowns, creating makeshift masks out of fabric. It was just a crazy time. Remember when there was no toilet paper, there was no water, and we had curfew? All of these things were happening. At some point, my hospital had a singing competition, and I had won the competition, but it catapulted my love for music and using music as an outlet for me throughout that depressive, super depressive state that I was in. It literally became my therapy. So I started singing again. I started creating again. I started writing again. And I realized something. The version of me who chose music was always there. I just needed to survive long enough to hear her. Even now, it may seem like I have the time to do all of this, but it is a struggle to balance my full-time job as a registered nurse, life, creating content, creating music, but I'm here to let you know that it's still possible. I had to look deep down and ask myself, what is my power? What is my truth? And what do I want to present to the world? So if you are a creative and also working a full-time job, I would love to hear from you. Please drop a comment below and let me know how you're doing it too. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch a new episode every Thursday, and I will see you on the next episode of Cozy with Calinnah. Thanks for watching.